Well, I'm sitting in my chair late at night, watching crime unfold under the pale moonlight. From the darkest corner, stories unfold. True crime jewels, she's brash and she is bold. On the YouTube screen, we're digging deep into the mysteries that never sleep. From missing kids in Tennessee to angry husbands named Barry. True crime's calling and we're taking the time. So grab a seat, don't miss a beat. This True Crime Jewels got what you need. From missing people to twisted minds, we're unraveling secrets old Barry tried to hide. Every clue, every twist and turn. In the world of crime, there's always more to learn. On the YouTube screen, we're
All right, everybody. I hope you guys are doing really well. Strange things happen, right? I was in the process of putting together a live to talk about this murder, these two murders that happened at Devil's Den, Arkansas. And wouldn't you know it, as I'm actually like researching, doing my thumbnail, getting ready to go live, they came out and said that they had an arrest. And so the man that has been arrested is a 28-year-old man from Springdale, Arkansas. His name is James Andrew McGann. And you see where I have put blue eyes. I on the other side I had put red hair or red blonde hair, right? Because even though you can play with these pictures and maybe you lose clarity in terms of form, you can do a really good job of pulling out color. So it is pretty easy to see the reddish blonde kind of hair, and there it is, bigger than Dallas. I think about the only thing that they got wrong on this was the mouth, right? I think those heavy eyebrows. I thought about Brian Koberger, but the heavy eyebrows, is pretty dead on. There were a couple of hikers that passed him on the trail before everything happened. There were a couple of hikers, and he was not wearing glasses, and they said that he had blue eyes, that he had noticeably like bright blue eyes. And later on, people said they saw him, but he was wearing glasses. He had on a black tank top, and was wearing glasses. But earlier, they said, no, we saw a guy and he had on what looked like a hoodie. Now, to me, that doesn't look like a hoodie. It looks like a plaid shirt. So, but I have distorted it quite a bit just to try to get the hair color. But it does look like it might have been a plaid. Maybe it's a heavy flannel. Maybe it was a hoodie. But one eyewitness said that they thought they saw the guy, but he looked like he might have had blood on him. So yeah, the nose and the mouth dramatically wrong. So but it can I be honest, looking at his eyes, he's got this really kind of intense dead eye. I mean, look, do you look at this and see Brian Koberger? I do. I see that same kind of empty glare, and those heavy, like the orbital sockets are so pronounced. Yeah, it's pretty strange that we got two of these crazy fools with knives, and they both have the creepy, weird, eyebrows. Do they have a motive? Well, so my research, there is some very strange discovery, but apparently both of these guys, the man that was murdered along with his wife, the Brinks, Mr. and Mrs. Brinks, Clifton Brinks and this boy, James McGann, they actually interviewed for the same job. Think about that. They interviewed for the same job, and it looks like the job was given to the man that was killed. So McGann, maybe he was butthurt. Maybe he was being a little crybaby that he didn't get the job, but then, this stranger from out of town, ended up getting the job. So the murder victims are I think I said Clifton, that's wrong. Clinton David Brink, 43 years old. The wife is Kristen Amanda Brink, 41. And they are from Prairie Grove, Arkansas. And they were at with their two daughters, 7 years old and 9 years old, on Saturday, July the 26th. They were at the Devil's Den State Park hiking. Apparently, he stabbed the father first. The mother acted very quickly and told the two girls to run as fast as they could and not to stop running. No matter what they heard, keep running. So the girls took off, and they did tell the police that they continued to run. They could hear the mom fighting and crying, pleading with the murderer, and then they didn't stop until they could not hear their mom anymore. And some people found them and was helping them. The children are perfectly unharmed, although we can imagine horribly traumatized to have witnessed their dad getting, stabbed. I believe that he's not like the biological father, and I'm not sure. I didn't see any information if the biological father is active in their lives, but we do know that they are not with foster placement. They are actually with family members. Um, the police were originally describing the suspect as a white male, late 20s to early 40s, maybe 5'10". And you could see the picture, the full bodied picture of him from behind. You could see he was a fairly, he wasn't a big, towering, tall guy like Kohberger. So around 5'10", 5'11". Clinton Brinks was a milk delivery driver who had recently transferred from Prairie Farms Dairy in South Dakota, and he was supposed to start working for Highland Dairy in Fayetteville, Arkansas. He was actually supposed to report to work on Monday. Kristen, the wife, she worked at Washington Regional Medical Center in Fayetteville. And I mean, that's kind of the recent move from South Dakota. And they had also previously lived in Montana and California. So I don't know if they were just kind of, maybe it's going to turn out that they had a social media presence and they were a family that was sort of moving around and making content um, by the different areas that they were in. Maybe they were in search of a better life, a better job. Maybe they were moving from family member to family member. We don't really know yet. We don't really have all that information. Really, this just happened. Like when I saw the news come across the wire, it had just been posted within 2 minutes of when I read it. So yeah, they believe that he had applied for the same job as Brinks, and that he may have been very angry that he did not get the job and followed them, and that was, that was that. The Brinks had family in the area. There you go, Lisa B. What what do you know about the family that was there? Yeah, that does make sense because they did say the girls, the two children had been placed with family. The four murdered in Dyersburg, Lake City, Tennessee. They just finished crime scene today. That was a hot job. Grandparents lived in Brownsville, Tennessee, not far from Dyersburg. Yeah, I hadn't seen that one, St. Elmo's. I have to look at that one. Do we know anything about, like, if it's grandparents? Was it her parents or his parents, or is this an area either one of them grew up in? The brother and the grandparents. All right. Well, thank you for that, Lisa. Okay, so it's his family. Wow. You know what else that might mean? Uh, maybe Brinks and James McGann, maybe they had a history. Maybe there was some old rivalry kind of problems, right? Diane, that is so weird to see you. I was thinking about you yesterday, and I was thinking I wish I had some way to call you and just check on you, make sure you're doing good. So glad to see you. It may be over a job, St. Elmo. They haven't exactly, no one's actually said that. Um, it 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 is I mean, it is factual that they did apply to the same job. Um, and that Brinks was chosen to take the job. And so people are saying that could be one possibility, right? Yes, and the girls did hear the mom say to this man, James McGann, why are you doing this? So yeah, the girl saw a lot. I would be very surprised if this goes to trial. I don't think it'll go to trial. I think they have so much against him. I mean, look how they basically had the picture of him. It was just a matter of time. So it'll be interesting to find out the whole story about how they found him, where he was when the arrest was made. I guess they'll probably be doing a press conference later. I do. Let's see the breaking news. 28 years old, James McGann of Springdale was arrested in Springdale for the murders of Clinton and Kristen Brinks of Prairie Grove. The two were killed while on a hike. Wow, they just didn't give any information. Let's see. Um, yeah. Witnesses, yeah. What was his motive? Death penalty, if there were, definitely. That's what he'll plead out, right? It won't go to trial. They have too much on him. Both girls saw him, heard him talking. Other hikers saw him and described him. Actually, said he had really bright blue eyes. So it won't go to. My guess, I could be wrong, but my speculation is that there's just no way that it'll go to trial. I found another alert. Let's see. Special agents with the Arkansas State Police have arrested James Andrew McGann of Springdale in connection to a double homicide that occurred on Saturday, July the 26th. McGann was taken into custody today, Wednesday, July 30th at 4:57 p.m. at a business in Springdale. Was he working? Wow. He was charged with 2 counts of capital murder, so that is the death penalty. Clinton David Brink and Kristen Amanda Brink fatally attacked while hiking with their 2 daughters. The girls, 7 and 9, were not injured and they are safe with family members. Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders released the following. No news can heal the enormous harm done to the Brink family in last weekend's crime, but this announcement is a comfort and reassurance for our state. I am so proud of the Arkansas State Police, park rangers, local law enforcement, and others who have worked nonstop since the weekend to capture this suspect. I ask that Arkansans lift up prayers of thanks for the brave men and women of law enforcement and prayers of condolences to the victims of this horrific crime. Let there be no mistake, we do not tolerate violent crime in Arkansas. If you target innocent people, law enforcement will hunt you down and bring you to justice. Arkansas State Police Colonel Mike Hagar added, I'm extremely grateful for the long hours and dedication that our agents put forward in bringing justice to this family. The collaboration between state police, other state and local law enforcement agencies, and our federal streets bring relief to those two precious girls and the rest of our citizens. And it says, as details become available, they will be posted. And that is actually the Department of Public Safety, Arkansas. So that's the only news that they have on that. Let's see if I found, we talked about how they moved around a lot. They came from California, Montana, South Dakota, and finally Arkansas. I believe the suspect may, they say that the suspect sustained injuries during the incident. And all right, so that's that. I think that's really, there's just really not very much information out there. And it looks like to me he killed his social media. Oh, okay, so the time says that Arkansas State Police was called at about 2:40 in the afternoon on Saturday. The murdered couple was found on a remote trail with rugged terrain, thick vegetation, and no cell phone service. Brink was due to start a new job as a milk delivery driver on Monday, originally from California. They were exploring the area not far from their home. They were avid outdoorsmen. All right. And I think the car that he's driving is a Kia, is it Sprinter or Kia Splinter, something like that, like a sports car. But it's a four-door. It is interesting because there have been what should I call it, a series of unsolved murders in Arkansas, which is kind of interesting, right? And so this was another murder that some were saying it could be the Arkansas serial killer. All right. But I think he's too young because the string of serial killers like started as late as like 1977, working all the way up to like March of 2025. So there's been a lot of murders in Arkansas that were not able to be solved. So this was really, really great that they caught this guy, and clearly it's him. Like you can look at that, the sketch and the back of him, the photograph, and you can see they got him. Like that's him. Hey, Polly Pepper, how are you? Press conference momentarily. I believe there's a press conference at 9:30. Let me see what you guys are talking about. Wish TBI worked is still right, Lisa. I'm just something strange in Tennessee, right? Why can't they solve a single crime involving missing children? Very odd. Oh, look at this, guys. Allegedly found in a hairdresser salon getting his hair cut. And, why did he get his hair cut? Because they came out with this picture showing that he had that reddish blonde hair. Is that why? It'd be very interesting to know too if he wanted it cut and dyed a different color, right? That would be incredibly interesting. Yeah, I guess maybe the DNA that they talked about being left, that's why they suspected that he was injured, that they found some of his blood mixed in with the victims. I agree, St. Elmo's. It's terribly sad. That question tells me there was a knowledge or familiarity level. What question? Let me see. Oh, mom asked, "Why are you doing this?" You feel like that suggests that there's some kind of familiar. Hey, Cattywampus, good to see you. The eyes above the ears, psychopath. Is that what you're talking about? Okay, let me see if I can find the I got Arkansas Razorbacks, all sports. Um, no, that's 2 days ago. Hmm. I don't. There's Idaho. Are we sure it's at 9:30 tonight? Google press conference, Arkansas, Devil's Den. I don't see a press conference. Did you find it, Beverly? Oh, you're checking eyes and ears. Y'all are so funny. I wonder how this could be worth his anger. I just don't think he was thinking, Diane. I think he was acting on pure emotion. Yeah, maybe 9:30 in the morning, maybe. Let me try Twitter. Let's see. No, I'm seeing, nope, that's from 2024. Arkansas double murder. But see, that was 13 hours ago. Yeah, see, this says Governor Sanders is holding a press conference at 9:30 p.m. Central. I wonder what channel it's on. Jennifer Coffindaffer. Maybe Fox News? Governors. Nope. No, new tax cut legislation, $19,000 lectern. I'm not seeing it, guys. Arkansas News Station Live. Maybe Channel 5's got 100,000 subscribers. There's 5 News. I bet it's oh, this is a whole, yeah, let me share this with you. This is a whole story about the whole thing. I'm not looking at the chat, y'all. Just trying to find the press conference. Let me make you guys, y'all can hear that. Okay, this kind of goes into the history, and I need to share that with y'all. Add to the stage. Okay.
From the visitor center, 2 children are there. They advised that their parents were assaulted. The parents are missing.
A couple killed while hiking with their young daughters.
We found a victim down here.
Tonight, 5 News has team coverage as we learn more about the lives lost and track the urgent search for a suspect.
Well, thanks for joining us. I'm Lauren Spencer.
And I'm Morgan Wrigley. We have new information from state police tonight about that deadly attack at Devil's Den State Park.
5 News reporter Bo Russell has been at Devil's Den all weekend following the investigation. He joins us live to break down what state police are saying as they continue to work to track down a suspect.
Okay, that's all old, but they may have more.
Hey, Lauren. Hey, Morgan. Yeah, well, we're learning today that 2 victims have been identified as Clinton and Kristen Brink. We now know from law enforcement that they were on a hike with their 2 daughters, age 7 and 9, at the time of the attack. Law enforcement is letting us know that those 2 children are safe and with family. Now, again, yesterday, Arkansas State Police received a call around 2:30 in the afternoon, and that's really all we knew at that time. I made it over here on the ground around 4:30 and saw that there was a large law enforcement present. They weren't really giving much information yesterday. Still not a lot today, other than as I just said, we have identified those 2 victims. Law enforcement are still here canvassing the area. They're all around the trails, which are all closed off. So they're still doing a pretty thorough sweep of the area, which is difficult because, you know, the terrain is steep and it's a large area of ground to cover. Now, I did talk to park rangers. They told me that the description of the suspect was taken from witness statements, not from photos or videos. So what else was given in those witness?
All right, so we've already heard all of this, and he's been taken into custody. And let me check one. Um, okay, that was 3 days ago. Boy, they are not up to it, are they? We knew more than they did. Okay, 15 minutes ago. This is it, isn't it?
All right, we are breaking into our regular programming for just a few moments to set up what will take place at 9:30 this afternoon or this evening. There will be a press conference at the Arkansas State Police Troop headquarters in Lowell. The governor will be there along with state police officials, all to announce that there has been an arrest made in the Devil's Den double murder. If we have a picture, we could maybe try to show that. Or we can just real quickly read the press.
Right here.
There's the picture. His name is James McCann. He is 28 years old. He's from Springdale. He was arrested in connection with the double homicide that took place on Saturday at Devil's Den State Park. He was arrested and taken into custody at a Springdale business just before 5 o'clock.
Yes. And so, as we know, this happened on Saturday at Devil's Den. There's been a manhunt going on up until this point. And now this is the information we're learning right now from Arkansas State Police that this person has been arrested. Now, Governor Sanders released a statement about this. She said, "No news can heal the enormous harm done to the Brink family in last weekend's crime, but this announcement is a comfort and reassurance for our state." She says she's so proud of all the law enforcement that has helped bring this arrest to happen, and I'm sure we'll hear more from her, obviously, at that press conference.
Yeah, she's going to be there along with the state police colonel, who is going to be there as well. And who you're looking at there now, of course, are the victims of this double homicide: 43-year-old Clinton Brink and then 41-year-old Kristen Brink. They were fatally attacked while they were hiking with their two young children on a trail there at Devil's Den late Saturday afternoon, or middle part of Saturday afternoon. The girls, who were 7 and 9, were not injured. We'll have much more about that as well too. But just to set this up, there is going to be a news conference, and of course we'll carry it live right here on 5 News, also on our website at 5newsonline.com and on 5 News Plus.
Well,
breaking news tonight: Devil's Den horror. A mom and a
okay. So we don't know, like, for sure that it was about the job, but the job did reach out to the police and say that they had both interviewed, or that this guy had interviewed, he got the job, and there was another guy in the area that had interviewed. Maybe that's how they found him so fast. Maybe they knew that they were looking for this guy, right? Sarah Sanders is the governor of Arkansas, Planetary Healer. Well, they just said that they're going to carry the news conference with a press conference when it comes on. That's why I just muted this, because they did say they'd be breaking in for the news conference. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm just tickled to death that they caught him. I think it's great. And you see the picture, in its original, I guess, form, and I played with it, manipulated it, and came up with, come on, why is it not showing? Should be showing. Well, there it is. And you can see how you can pull the color out, right? So that he's definitely got that kind of golden, orangey, kind of blonde, brownish hair. So yeah, they had him, and if the information is accurate about him being in a hairdresser getting his hair cut, wow, it's crazy. So, all right. Well, I guess we're just kind of waiting. If they could find Travis Decker. Thank you, Love Shack. Right? Travis Decker and whoever hurt Sebastian Rogers, Summer Wells. It's just so much. It's just too. What about Monkey Vaughn? Although they did get an arrest, in that case. So they did get him, Black Eyes. They got him this afternoon. They sure did. He was getting his hair cut. And I said, won't that be interesting if the hairdresser says that he also asked to have it dyed black, right? Yeah, and my heart is broken about Sebastian Rogers and Summer Wells, for sure. Law enforcement did the work. They did a great job. They did such a good job. Yep. So, all right. Well, we're waiting on the press conference. It is late for me. I do have to be up early in the morning to work, and I work today. So, but it was just so crazy because I spent a couple of hours putting together a live about this case. And then right before I went live, I got the bulletin that said, arrest made. And I was like, oh my God. So I went ahead and I said, I got to go ahead and do the little live and all the background information that I found. And so if you're just getting here, you can go back to the beginning of the live. And I do have all the background information and what we know so far about this, the Brinks. And we don't really know much about this young man right here. I know this. He definitely cleaned up his social media, because as soon as I saw that he had been arrested, the first thing I did is I started looking for social media. But the killings, the murders were on Saturday. Today is Wednesday. Yeah, he had lots of time to clean up his internet, his digital footprint, for sure. So it may be a bit difficult to get some information about him. Hopefully some friends and family will come forward and talk a little bit, right? So, yeah. I'm in Southwest Washington State. Yeah, I think law enforcement did a great job. Absolutely. Okay, everybody. Well, I will be, let me make sure. Yeah, they're not there yet. This is Nancy Grace. She had a big long show on it tonight. I think some people get some copyright strikes from her if you play her stuff. So, all right, everybody. Well, we'll just keep watching and see what we can learn about this, and prayers for those two little girls, because I don't know how, trying to get over something like that. It's a real nightmare, right? All right, everybody. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. Please give me a thumbs up. That helps my video to be seen. And if you want to subscribe, I would like that. I don't have a regular upload time, so at least if you're subscribed, you'll get a notification that I have something new up. And other than that, I'll see you another day.
Well, I'm sitting in my chair.
What is wrong? I'm having some.
Well, I'm sitting in my chair late at night, watching crime unfold under the pale moonlight. From the darkest corners, stories unfold. True crime, true
major problems with my sound.
On the YouTube screen, we're digging deep into the mysteries that never sleep. From missing kids in Tennessee to angry husbands named Barry. True crime's calling and we're taking the time. So grab a seat, don't miss a beat. This true crime jewels got what you need.
You know what? That sounds so bad. I'm just gonna go ahead and end it.
We're unraveling secrets.
Oh, so sorry about that. I'm gonna have to figure out what in the world is wrong with my sound on my computer. All right, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow. If not tomorrow, for sure, on Friday. Okay. Until then, talk to you later. Diane, I am so glad to see you, and I'm glad that you are doing well. So I've been very worried about you. All right, everybody. See you later.